Hi, welcome to another Trade Talk episode. This different format because we're using the DC Universe app this week for our trade to discuss, which is the 6-issue series Batwoman Hydrology by J.H. Williams III. I'm not going to be able to go through and show off all the art because of the way the DC Universe app works. I can only look at one issue at a time, so we'll just focus on some of the stuff from the first issue if I need to show art because it's the same team throughout the whole book, which is cool. So I really liked Margaret Bennett's Batwoman run, and it made me want to go read more Batwoman. So when I got the DC Universe app, I saw this and I was like, oh, perfect. And so I'm like kind of working backwards on Batwoman and finding out more about the character in reverse. This is an interesting story in that it kind of takes a supernatural approach. We've got this drowned woman ghost thing that keeps kidnapping and killing children, and it does so by kind of like weeping into their mouths and kind of taking them over. And so Batwoman's put up against that and having to deal with it. But that's only one of the troubles she's currently dealing with. Kate Kane is being hunted by the DEO, who wants to know her secret identity, and she is dating Detective Maggie Sawyer, who is not really happy with Batwoman because they're both working the same case of the drowned woman. So it's a lot of that classic superhero stuff going on. Meanwhile, Kate is also training Flamebird, I believe her name is. I don't know the character's name. She's training her to be her new sidekick. Is not happy with the way she's performing for the most part. These layouts are absolutely gorgeous. I love this untraditional paneling format here. This kind of stuff is just fantastic. I will make a note. Come on, work right. We'll make a note about the reading mode. So here's how this app works when you're reading stuff. And so really cool layouts like that, you kind of lost on you in a way when you go through them panel by panel like this. Admittedly, you do still get this that happens where they'll zoom out and show you the whole panel, but it's not quite the same. So I don't know, just something to talk about there. But anyway, so you got all these different forces kind of conspiring against Kate Kane all at once, and it's causing all kinds of problems for her and a bunch of drama. Again, I love these layouts. This was also during the time of Batman Inc., so Bruce is trying to get her to come in on the whole Batman Inc. project, and she's got very little interest. I don't know. It's an interesting story. It's definitely nowhere near as impactful as Bennett's run was on me. I think Bennett may have ruined Batwoman for me because I don't think I'll be able to find anyone else that can write Batwoman as well. But I don't know. It was definitely a really interesting read, the way it all kind of comes together, how Kate has to solve this supernatural problem while dealing with this like government problem that I don't know the conclusion to because it's kind of just left hanging by the end of the story. Flamebird gets brutalized by a villain and gets abducted by the DEO at one point, and that's how they kind of figure out who Kate Kane is. And they want to use her as an agent against Batman and all this stuff. There's all kinds of shit going on. These layouts are so good. So there's just all kinds of things happening, and it kind of does have a bit of a downer ending. Come on, just load the page. Yeah, everyone, the DC Universe app is still in its first couple weeks. It's a little rocky in some ways, but I'm still really happy with it for what it's worth. Oof, man. Oh, this scene is really, really good, and it kind of shows you that Kate Kane, while not an awful person, is not a great person and can be a little selfish. So this is the issue in which Flamebird gets like absolutely destroyed by a villain, and you have these black and white, almost pencil pages. It doesn't even look like they're like properly finished coloring, which is a cool effect of what Kate Kane is doing while this is happening to Flamebird. And Kate Kane and Maggie Sawyer are having sex. That's what's going on. Kate Kane is kind of, rightfully so, living her life, indulging. She's told Flamebird not to be a superhero anymore because she's not cut out for it, or blah, blah, blah. And this is kind of proving her point, but also Kate Kane isn't out there looking out for her. So she's not like it's not that she's a bad person or anything. It's that she's the type of person to kind of trade one addiction for the other, to get caught up in her own stuff and lose track of others. She's not necessarily the most responsible person. I thought that was really, really interesting juxtaposition of scenes, because you have what is drawn as quite a beautiful sex scene just put to this kind of violence. It's quite a juxtaposition. I particularly like this moment right here, wherein Flamebird gets stabbed and the blood literally splashes onto Kate Kane's panel. Literally saying the blood is on her. It's a really interesting juxtaposition there. Yeah, so there's like, Kate doesn't really solve anything. She kind of gets further stuck in a situation here is basically what it's come down to. We don't get much of a conclusion on this story. This is kind of the first chapter in something that I don't know whether or not the second chapter is available of yet. Oh, it's in the To Drown the World's the name of the story that this gets continued in, which is interesting. I don't mind that. I don't mind continuing a story. That's kind of the nature of comics, as it were. But I don't know. There's some good shocks, some good reveals. I quite liked it. It was well done. It just wasn't as good as Margaret Bennett's stuff, in my opinion. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with it. Good book though. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining me for this episode of Trade Talk. I know it's not the traditional style, but hopefully you like this. Hopefully it gives you a better view of the art than what we normally get. Let me go back to the YouTube channel there. Yeah. Looking pretty good. Yeah. So hopefully that was something everyone could find some enjoyment in. I'm gonna stop the screen share there and sign off as myself. So yep, expect maybe some more of that. I still do have normal trades from other companies and normal trades from DC, so it's not gonna be like that every week. But yeah, thanks for joining me for that episode of Trade Talk. Bye. Man, guys, talking. Well, everyone, thanks very much for sticking with me for this late night episode of Comic Reviews. I had a good time. I hope you did as well. Till next time. Bye.